Good evening. My name is Martina, and it's my honor to welcome you for Health Digest June 24. Health Digest is a program organized by the Metro Health Ministry in behalf of my and your Creator, Jesus Christ. He came to represent his Father and gave everything to give us a perfect hope. Even now, he has a deep interest in mine and your well-being and finds pleasure in restoring us physically, mentally, and spiritually. He longs for a close relationship with all of us because he knows that we would find healing and rest. Health Digest aims to transform God's health message into practical techniques for a better life. So thank you all for coming. And I will lead you a little bit through the program. Today we will also start with a Bible thought. Then we will demonstrate 5 plant-based lunches for 5 work days to give ideas what you can prepare for home or bring to school or work. And you will be again able to taste all of these recipes. After this, we will show you how you can make a deodorant by yourself. Then we will give you a summary of chapter 2 of the book Ministry of Healing. Then we will have an exercise part, hopefully, because Jeannie is not here yet. We will have an exercise part that will make you realize that you can change your metabolic profile in a very short time. And the health teacher will introduce you to a great opportunity that will take place in the summer. We will end again with some prizes. And I hope you will all enjoy your evening. And will the pastor please come up?
Okay, good evening, everyone. Have a couple verses I wanted to read from the book of Proverbs. The passage is a little bit unconventional for health ministry, but I wanted you to think about this with me. Verse 1 of Proverbs chapter 23 says, "When you sit down to eat with a ruler, consider carefully what is before you, and put a knife to your throat." I don't see any rulers here, so you're okay. It says after that, "Put a knife to your throat if you're a man given to delicacies, or a man given to appetite. Do not desire his delicacies, for they are deceptive." And then it says, sort of shifting gears, but along the same lines, "Don't overwork to be rich, because of your own understanding cease. Will you set your eyes on that which is not? For riches certainly make themselves wings. They fly away like an eagle toward heaven." What's the message that Proverbs is sharing here? Is it don't eat sweets, don't overeat, or is it something else? Temperance? Well, we could say that. I think even before temperance, though, he says, almost like, don't, you have the answer, I know you do. Don't desire, don't seek after, don't covet what other people have. All right? So here you have, don't desire his delicacies. Don't overwork to be rich. 2 things. And I like if you skim through the chapter, verse 17 sort of gives the answer. Don't let your heart envy. Don't let your heart envy. Contentment. I sort of see what he's saying. We need to learn to be content with what we have. Now, there's sort of a fine line here because it's not wrong to have goals in life. It's not wrong to know where you're headed, to see what you're after, and to seek it. But it's also good to appreciate where you are and what God has done and given you already. So when we think about that, you have a lot of people who are striving for that new car, or we just got back from camp meetings, so a lot of people were in tents, were looking for that new camper. You have a lot of people in houses that want better houses, or people that they have these financial goals, and so until we get there, it seems like we won't be content with what we have. But here, of course, Solomon, he says, don't overwork to be rich, because that's not where true happiness lies. And it's been said that contentment is one of the keys to happiness. And so if we're talking about health, and happiness is a part of health, right? Well, contentment is a part of happiness. And I like what contentment brings. Peace of mind, because if you're content, you're not anxious, you're not worried, you're not stressed about the next big deal that you have to close to progress to the next level. It brings happiness. It also brings stronger relationships because you know what's important. And you're able, I think, to distinguish between what you actually need and what you want versus what we often do is everything we want is something we need. We sometimes get that backwards. It brings simplicity, and in simplicity we find the true meaning of what is valuable. And so I like this passage of Proverbs 23. It's a stark reminder. It's a shocking imagery. Of course, we wouldn't ever tell anybody to put a knife to your throat today. But it's a moment of pause where you say, okay, wow, he's got my attention now. What's the message? And the message is, don't strive for what you don't have. The message is, be content. Recognize what God has done and let your happiness come from his blessings. So I hope that will be an encouragement to you, that whatever stresses you might be experiencing, you will take a moment to stop focusing on that and the goals ahead and stop and appreciate what God has done already. So with that, I'd like to have a word of prayer, and we'll begin after prayer with the rest of the program. Father in heaven, as we go on today, we want to just pause and thank you for how you have blessed us so abundantly, even up to this point in our lives. We've been through challenges, I know everybody has, but we've also experienced your blessings in powerful ways. And so we want to thank you for that. We thank you for the way that you continue to work in our lives. And tonight, we want to pause with gratitude to say thank you, but also in our appreciation, we're looking for more blessings, that what we learned tonight will impact us in positive ways, and our health will improve, and our well-being also, so that we can serve you to the best of our abilities. In Jesus' name, amen.
Now it's already time to start with our cooking demonstrations. We have 5 recipes, as I already said, and they are all chosen very carefully to give you an idea what you can cook very quickly, very easy, and most of these are approved by my children, who are very picky, so I hope you like them too. So we will show you 3 salads, grain salads, which are very nutritious. And the first one is a barley salad. And Lucia will show, or will talk about that. Lucia, can you come, please?
Hello. My name is Lucia, she already said. Okay, so I made for tonight barley salad. So it's very easy. I think in 15-20 minutes I already mixed everything together. So I put 1 cup of peeled barley, 2 cups of water, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I boil for 15-20 minutes until I see it's boiled. And after I put corn, black beans. The measure are on the recipe, so you can double, you can pepper. I put red and orange pepper to have some color. Artichoke hearts, and everything I cut small, and onion. I mixed everything together. I put 2 teaspoons veggies, 1 teaspoon, I didn't put water or plant-based milk because I didn't need it. I think it's soft enough. I put 1 teaspoon of lemon juice and celery salt to taste. I never used this. First time I didn't know. I went to the store and I asked for, she said, I never heard, let me see if we have in the store. So I find, and this give a nice taste. So this is all, I mix them together and I think it's good, I like it, I never made it, but it's delicious. So hope you like it and you'll make it for another day when you are in hurry, in 15-20 minutes you make the salad. Enjoy. Thank you.
This is actually a recipe from my camp meeting friend Tammy Henderson. And we went to camp meeting for more than 10 years together since our children were little. And that was always one of our recipes that we cooked. And all our children liked it. And barley is such a healthy grain and gives you an alternative to wheat. So I asked her for the recipe and I hope you like it too. It's very nutritious, very easy, very fast, and the recipes are just the basis. You can change it according to your taste, of course. So the next recipe will be seed patties, and with the patties we will show you a sauce. So Margit will present that. I'm not sure if she made the sauce that is in the handout, but the sauce in the handout also gives you just an idea what you could do to make a sauce for a patty. And she will serve that with a cabbage salad. Of course, you can serve the patty also in a bun, but we will show you an alternative to this. Margit, can you come up, please?
Okay, so I missed what Martina said, but anyway, I think she talked about the sun burger and the coleslaw, I assume. Oh, you did? Okay. So I made some sun burgers. We call them seed burgers. And they're fairly easy to make. They're actually really great for people that are gluten intolerant because they have no grain in it. So the base is sunflower seeds, you have some veggies, you have flax seeds, and they're really easy to make. You grind up your sunflowers, then you mix your flax seeds with water, let it sit, prep your veggies, and then you mush everything together, and I like to use my hands. You form patties, and the best way I learned 2 weeks ago how to make patties, the perfect round patties, is actually the ring of a masonry jar. That's awesome. I saw that online and I tried it and it's great. So it has the right size for the hamburger buns and it's not so messy. And then you just bake it We have written down about 30 minutes, but I baked mine a little bit longer. I would suggest turn them around after 20 minutes and then bake them another 20 minutes, or however crispy you like them. And to that meal, we made a sauce. It's not quite the sauce that you have on the recipe handout. I added to my sauce some pickles and some garlic. And you will get the taste that I made. So, and then I made some coconut bacon, which I have up here. If somebody wants to taste, I'll go around and give you a taste. Then we made some coleslaw with that, very simple recipe as well. And I do want to add some information about sunflower seeds. So they're rich in vitamin E, and it boosts the immune system. Zinc protects from inflammation, allergies, and invading pathogens. And they're also rich in selenium, which reduces inflammation and oxidative stress. Secondly, it reduces your LDL. Who knows what the LDL stands for? Yes? What is it? What does LDL? Yeah, so it's the bad cholesterol, low density lipid. So it reduces that, it reduces the overall total cholesterol through the B3, that's your niacin, and B5 increases your HDL, your good cholesterol. Number 3, it's rich in oleic and inoleic acid and lowers saturated fats and sodium. It also contains magnesium and potassium. It has beta-sitosterol and helps prevent breast cancer and reduces colon cancer. It helps to reduce blood glucose level due to the fiber. And it also contains B6, which improves your mood, concentration, enhances memory. And it releases serotonin, that's our happy hormone, and norepinephrine. Number 7, it helps with weight loss because it's rich in protein and fiber. So basically it makes us fuller, and it reduces our food intake, hopefully. Number 8, it gives us an energy boost through vitamin B1, and it also helps people with anemic disorders because it's rich in iron. Number 10, it's good for the skin because of the oleic and inoleic acid, and it helps to form the collagen, and elastin helps to speed up wound healing and prevents scar formation. Thank you.
So I think you realize that sunflower seeds are very beneficial to us. This recipe was adapted from a recipe from Jeannie Davis, and she basically uses this recipe as a raw patty and only dehydrates it, but we baked it a little bit. So you can do it both ways, and you can basically eat it raw if you prefer that. So our third recipe is again a salad, a grain salad, and this time a tabbouleh, but not a tabbouleh with bulgur, which Middle Eastern people usually use, but with quinoa. Quinoa is very beneficial to health also, and Isai prepared this recipe.
Okay, so yeah, this is the quinoa tabbouleh. So you can kind of see all our ingredients there, and you've got a list there of the ingredients on in your packet. But one thing that I did do differently was when I do quinoa, I usually do a 1-to-2 ratio of quinoa to water. So for half a cup of quinoa, I would do 1 cup of water. And I think on the recipe it says for half a cup to do 1.5. And I'm afraid that would be too much. It might get maybe a little bit mushy. But I think that was probably, the only thing that I did a little bit differently. So with the quinoa, you want to rinse it off because sometimes it has like a coating that makes it taste a little bit bitter. So you want to make sure that you rinse it. You'll need a strainer that has very fine mesh because those quinoa, when it's dry, are really, really small. So make sure you wash it. And then something else that I usually do is I just put a little bit drizzle of oil in the pan and then just kind of saute it for a little bit because it helps it once it's done to not clump together, but to separate and to get really fluffy. So I just saute it for maybe like 3 or 4 minutes. And you'll kind of start getting like a nutty aroma to it. Then after that, we'll add the water and then the salt and wait until it boils. And once it boils, put the lid on it and then turn it on low. And then you're gonna leave it there for about 18 minutes, I've found to be kind of the good amount of time. Once 18 minutes comes up, you'll see, I don't know if you can see here, you can kind of see the difference. They've definitely kind of puffed up. You can see kind of these little like tails that come out of the quinoa, and that's when you know. Other thing to kind of check on is if you lift your pot, and I'll kind of tilt it to see if any water comes off of it, because you want all that water to be absorbed. So if I see that no water is kind of draining out the side, then that usually is my sign that it's ready. And then, so I think on the recipe it says to do it a day ahead of time and then refrigerate it, and that's really just so that it cools before you mix it with all your other veggies in the salad. So I made this like around noon, and then I stuck it in the fridge, and it was fine. So it doesn't really need to be a whole day in advance, because sometimes you just don't plan enough on these things. And then we cut up the rest of our veggies. So we've got some cucumber, and it says half a cup of cucumber. It ends up being about half of a big cucumber. So I doubled it, so I used a whole cucumber. Parsley, which I ended up using a whole bunch of, like an entire bunch of parsley. And then green onion and some cherry tomatoes. And then you'll mix it all up. And along with the dressing, so the dressing, so you can see there that it was about a tablespoon of olive oil, a tablespoon of lemon juice, a tablespoon of nutritional yeast, and then salt to taste. And then just mix that up and then pour it on top of your salad and then mix it all together. So, and I think it should be coming around for you guys to try. Okay, perfect.
Thank you very much, Isai. So you see, our recipes are very easy and easy to follow. So our fourth recipe is something warm. So originally I tried to do more soups, but I guess for the summer we don't need that many soups. But we have one warm recipe, which is buckwheat with lentils. And buckwheat is also a grain that is a very nice alternative to wheat. And Lucia will present that one again. Did you like the recipe so far?
Okay. Are you ready with the quinoa salad, or you need a little more time? We are too fast. People doesn't have time to eat and enjoy the, I think. Okay, the next I made lentil and buckwheat. I don't know how many of you cook buckwheat. It's not very common, not very often, but it's very healthy, very good. Most Ukrainian people eat a lot, and Russian people eat a lot of buckwheat. Green. I don't know why that part of the.
It's because Americans eat Twinkies.
Okay, so it's very easy. In 10 minutes you can boil. So you put 1 cup of water, half cup of buckwheat. I put the buckwheat in hot water with salt, and in 10 minutes it's done. So you can use it instead of rice, or it is much better for digest. It's better for digest the buckwheat. And the lentil, I saute onion, carrot, and celery in the little olive oil. I cooked the lentil separate in the water. Just put the lentil, cover with water. You can buy can and put, but I cook the lentil. I buy, after the onion and carrots and celery are sauteed with a little olive oil, put yeast, flag, yeast. Yes, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Okay, and onion powder, garlic powder, give a very, I like it, it's very delicious taste. Will come, soon will come, lady will come to taste. And that's it, very easy and very nutrition. It's very good, will keep you over the day. Okay, so hope you enjoy the lentil soup and the buckwheat.
So if you were here at our last Health Digest, which was in March, you will see that these lunches complement our breakfasts very good. So when you combine them, you have basically all these nutritious grains together and all the legumes that are good for your health, and many veggies and many fruits. So you have a good nutritious plan for a whole week here together. And now we will show you our fifth recipe, which is also a salad. So it's a sushi salad, which has the advantage that you don't have to roll and spend a lot of time with nicely cutting and assembling, but it goes really fast. Tastes exactly the same as sushi, so if you like sushi, you might like this salad. My boys, they love it because they all love sushi, and if you like it, you will hopefully enjoy it too. So Margaret prepared that one.
Okay, the sushi salad contains brown rice. So what you can do to make it a little bit faster for the preparation, you can cook the rice the night before and cook it to however you have to cook it. And then prep your carrots, celery sticks, cucumbers. I would add the avocado and the seaweed last. So you can prep everything, add the Bragsamino, lemon juice, and maple syrup. And just let it sit and marinate a little bit, and then add the rest of it. I wanted to share a little bit why seaweed is so good for us. It contains sodium, magnesium, phosphorus, iodine, potassium, iron, and zinc. Vitamin C, vitamin B, vitamin A, vitamin E, iron, and so on. So it can be helpful for your thyroid, especially when you have hypothyroidism. It can be helpful for diabetics because it provides some fiber and it has an impact, positive impact on our gut. Okay, enjoy.
So the sushi salad concludes our cooking demonstrations. I hope you liked it. And now we will continue with our simple remedy section. For our simple remedies, actually, I also want to show you or make you aware that there is a shopping list for all the recipes that we showed you, which includes staples that you usually have at home. I have them at home. You might not, so you might have to buy them. Staples, veggies, spices, and herbs. So, and for the simple remedies, my husband is showing you how to make a self-made deodorant. He made it many times before, and we really like it because it really works. The only downside about it is that you don't have the container that you have when you buy it. So we we take it on our fingers and then put it wherever we want to put it. But it smells good, it works, and it's not that hard to make. So Brian will show you how to do that.
Good evening, everyone. I'm not sure how I ended up with deodorant, but I did. So why I started making my own deodorant? It's quite easy. If you go to the supermarket or CVS or whatever you go to, and you start reading the ingredient list on the deodorants, there are a lot of words you can't even pronounce. So I thought, man, if I can pronounce it, it's not good. I mean, maybe it is, but I'm not a chemical engineer. I'm a mechanical engineer, so. So, very easy recipe. How do you start? So you take you heat up water, you put a bowl in it, and then in the bowl you start to melt unrefined coconut oil, 2.5 tablespoons. You add 2.5 tablespoons of unrefined shea butter. I think it's pronounced shea butter. Or shea butter. And so you start melting the butter and the oil, making sure, don't heat it up too much. Just make it that's nice melted. Once it's all melted, you start adding arrowroot starch. So in this case, for the quantity I described over here, it's 1/4 cup, and you add 1.5 tablespoon of baking soda. And all you have to do, stir it up really good to make it smell nice. You can add essential oils. So at home, I typically use grapefruit oil, and as well as the lavender. And it gives a very, very pleasant, fresh smell, actually. But if you like something completely different, then, I don't know, if you like McDonald's Big Mac essential oils, I guess you can put it in there as well. But so, yeah, it's really, really easy. And how do you apply it? So typically, I put it in a jar. So this quantity gets you about 4 fluid ounces of your deodorant. Once it's hardened up, typically I put it in the fridge. It's easy, and then once it's just nice and firm, you just take a little bit with your fingers, or you can take those little popsicle sticks, put a little bit on your fingers, make your armpits a little wet, and you're in business. No smelly armpits. Really, really easy to do. I think this is a very natural way. So all the ingredients all have some. There are some questions.
Do you have a guarantee?
Okay, when did you put it on this morning when you walked by us?
I made it last night, and I did not put it on this morning. But tomorrow morning I will. Maybe I can ding dong. Hey, want to smell? Yeah, no.
Right, the essential oils, all 3 of those are just suggestions. You can just use one.
Those are, so actually I do put, so there is, I think it's already going around over here. So I put both in there actually. Okay. So grapefruit as well as the lavender. But as I say, you can put any type of smell you can put in there. At least from in the morning till at night. At least, yes.
Like if you're working outside, you need more or not?
Actually, no. No. I mean, obviously, you can always reapply. It's easy to do, but yeah. Don't eat it. So this one, as I said, this has the grapefruit and lavender in there. So.
Is this one with the grapefruit and the tea tree oil, or the lavender?
This is just lavender. So the tea tree oil, there's no tea tree oil in this one. A lot of people, quite some people are actually allergic to tea tree oil. So yeah, also, I mean, I put a note on it, so you can leave it out. So tea tree oil does have very good antibacterial properties, as well as all the other ingredients. Any more questions on deodorant? All right. I guess everyone knows how to make deodorant now. Enjoy. I forgot one thing. So it is so the batch I made, it is somewhat sensitive to temperature. So if you have a jar and you store it at I don't know, 100, 105, 110 F, it becomes pretty fluid. I mean, it's still very good usable, just to let you know.
You don't have to refrigerate it or anything.
No, don't put it. I put it in the refrigerator just to have it firmed up completely. Okay. But typically then once you're done, you're good.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm. And it works.
So I'm talking about the book, The Ministry of Healing. Have it here, but there's all kinds of different covers. And last time we met, we looked at, or we kind of gave a brief overview of chapter 1. And that was called Our Example. Chapter 2 is called Days of Ministry, and it really goes into what Jesus did while he was here on earth. And it talks about different aspects of it, and I've got a couple quotes here that I really liked from this chapter. So the first part talks about how Jesus really ministered to those that were sick, right? So he did a lot of healing and worked with people with all kinds of infirmities, and people flocked to see him. And so the book talks about how he was in Capernaum, and everyone was there to see him, and they were ready to come back the next day, right? And so the disciples were like, everyone's here, and Jesus says, okay, it's time to move on, which seemed kind of strange. You know, everyone's here to see you. You did so well yesterday. Why are we leaving? And so this is kind of the first quote that I liked. But Jesus, essentially, he didn't want to be known for just being a great healer. That was not his work on earth, was not simply to come and heal us of all of our physical ailments, right? So he was, the book says, in the excitement which then pervaded Capernaum, there was danger that the object of his mission would be lost sight of. Jesus was not satisfied to attract attention to himself merely as a wonder worker or as a healer of physical disease. In fact, he was seeking to draw men to him as their savior. So he didn't want people to lose sight of the fact that it wasn't just their physical ailments that he was there to save them from, but it was much more than that. The book also talks about how we know how during that time John the Baptist was in prison, and he starts to have doubts, and so he sends some of his disciples to go talk to Jesus because he needed confirmation, right? So John the Baptist's disciples, they go out to see Jesus, and Jesus doesn't reply right away, right? So they're there the whole day, and they're witnessing everything that Jesus is doing. And so in the end of the day, Jesus simply says, just tell John what you saw. And so they go back and they tell John all these wonderful things, and that's enough for him. That is confirmation of who Jesus is. And let's see. Yeah, so it says the works of Christ not only declared him to be the Messiah, right? So his works, he didn't have to say, yes, I'm the Messiah. It was, here's what I'm doing. You decide, am I the Messiah or not, right? So the works of Christ not only declared him to be the Messiah, but showed in what manner his kingdom was to be established. So to John was open the same truth that had come to Elijah in the desert when a great strong wind rent the mountains and break the pieces of the rocks before the Lord, but the Lord was not in the wind. And after the wind, an earthquake, but the Lord was not in the earthquake. And after the earthquake, a fire, but the Lord was not in the fire. And after the fire, God spoke to the prophet by a still small voice. And so Jesus was to do his work not by overturning of thrones and kingdoms, not with pomp and outward display, but through speaking to the hearts of men by a life of mercy and self-sacrifice. And that was very much the opposite of what people had been used to seeing with the Pharisees and some of the religious leaders during that time. The book also talks about all of the mothers that sought after Jesus for him to bless their children. And we know that, the disciples at first saw the children as kind of a bother. They were annoying. There were other people with more problems that they should address, so they tried to push them away. And Jesus says, no, you let them come to me. So the book talks about how Jesus is here drawing all the children to him, and for us not to misrepresent Jesus by keeping anybody away from him. And then it talks about the little boy with the barley loaves and the fish, right? So we know the story of the little boy whose mom packed him a lunch to go see Jesus, and there comes a time when late in the day everyone is hungry, and so Jesus does this miracle by multiplying all this small amount of food and feeding more than 5,000 people. And so the book talks about how Christ could have spread for the people he could have done a miracle out of nothing, right? And made this lavish meal for them. But instead of doing that, he took this food that fishermen who were very low in the social status, he took what a fisherman would eat, and he chose that meal to multiply. And so the book talks about how food prepared merely for the gratification of appetite would have conveyed no lesson for their good. Through this miracle, Christ desired to teach a lesson of simplicity. If men today were simple in their habits, living in harmony with nature's laws, as did Adam and Eve in the beginning, there would be an abundant supply for the needs of the human family. But selfishness and the indulgence of appetite have brought sin and misery from excess on the one hand and from want on the other. So people that have the ability to have all these things, they do. They go out and they seek all these things. And in turn, what happens is then those who don't have the ability to have all these things have less. So I thought that was a good point. And then the last point that I really appreciated was, in the end, after we see this miracle where all these people are fed, there's food left over, right? And I'm guilty of this. I saw once, I think, a funny post, in this house we don't throw away good food. We refrigerate it and throw it away a week later when it goes bad, right? But the idea here is, as Jesus decided to collect all of these leftovers, and it was to teach us a lesson there as well. And so the book brings out two things. One is that nothing is to be wasted. We are to let slip no temporal advantage. We should neglect nothing that would serve to benefit a human being. Let everything be gathered up that will relieve the necessities of earth's hungry ones, and with the same carefulness are we to treasure the bread from heaven to satisfy the needs of the soul. So this not only applies to food or to things that we need physically, but also to things that we need spiritually. So by every word of God we are to live. Nothing that God has spoken is to be lost. Not one word that concerns our eternal salvation are we to neglect. Not one word is to fall useless to the ground. So those are a couple of the things that I kind of gleaned out of chapter 2 of the Ministry of Healing. So if you haven't read this book, I highly recommend it. So that was chapter 2.
Thank you for this awesome summary. Now it's exercise time. Jeannie? Yay!
Oh, here. Eliana and Zach are going to be handing you out some items, so receive them gracefully. Very gratefully. Good to see everybody. Are you ready to change your metabolic profile? Yes. Oh, good. You're going to be getting a cotton ball. Go ahead, start, hurry. I have very little time. Yeah, keep going. Now, let me explain to you as they're giving things out. Most of you are going to want this one, okay? And Aliana has this one. What's the difference? How many of you have used bands for exercising? How many of you have your band holding a closet door open? Or it's thrown over a curtain rod, you know? Yeah, I know. So most of you are going to want this one. The difference is it's that much longer than these. These are the typical ones that you're going to find most places. This is an extra long one. I had to order these special. Because typically you have medium, very light, and harder. And they're only that length. Now, if you want a more challenging band for what we're going to do tonight, just raise your hand and the kids will. Zach has the challenging bands. I would suggest that you get a green one or a yellow one of the more challenging bands. Why are they more challenging? Why would they be more challenging? No matter what the color. Why would these be more challenging than this? That's right. This lady knows because she was in my class for a while over at the school. Anyway. Everybody get their cotton ball yet? Everybody got their cotton ball? Raise your hand if you did not get a cotton ball. Everybody has to have a cotton ball. Cotton balls? Huh? Oh, that's okay. Okay. Everybody have their band. Go ahead and choose one of these if you want more challenge. This one is, and I have many of these, so if anybody needs the longer one, raise your hand because they're all back there in the back. If you want one of these. Aliana, she wants one of these. They're in the back. The yellow one. That back. Yeah. Yeah. Just dig right down in there. I opened it up. Okay, everybody? You got your cotton ball? She's getting your bands out. Raise your hand again if you want yellow band, the long yellow band. Yellow is yellow. Yeah. Just so you know. The yellow bands. Yeah, the one that's open. I opened it up. Just whoever wants it. Yeah, if you want a more challenging one, get that one. Okay. Little housekeeping. Anytime you do equipment, you always have to have this kind of a little problem. Okay, everybody stand up with your cotton ball. And you have your band, and it's right here on the table. Everybody's got your cotton ball, right? Right? Okay. Now, a little movement around. Just be careful that you're not going to trip over each other. I want you to take your cotton ball and just throw it and catch it. And if you miss it, you have to get it. Okay? Now, throw it and catch it on one hand. Throw it and catch it on the other hand. Throw it and catch it. Throw it and catch it. Cross over. Throw it and catch it. You got to follow it with your eyes. Follow it, follow it. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Have you got it? Okay. We're going to play a game that's going to last 2 minutes. Okay? Here's the game. I'm going to time you. I'm going to tell you. You're going to be doing this and catching it, and you're trying to see how many times you can catch it in 1 minute without dropping it. Okay? If you drop it, just keep going, pick it up, and keep counting. Okay? When we come to the end of that first minute, we're going to change the activity. So what you're going to do is, you see these little things hanging down? See those? You're going to go put yourself quickly under one, and you're going to try to hit it with the cotton ball. You get 1 point for every time you actually hit the thing, any part of it, with your cotton ball. No cheating. You can't count if you don't hit it with the cotton ball. So when we come to the second minute, that's going to be your task. So you'll just put yourself, and you can use the same. Two people can use the same one. It's if you hit it, you get the point. So we're going to see how many. You can do anything, any way you want to. But I want you to use one hand throwing and then the other hand throwing. One hand throwing and the other hand throwing. And you have to just keep doing that for 1 minute. Okay, first minute. What are we going to do? Just throw it up, catch it. Count. Throw it up, catch it. Throw it up, catch it. Okay, get ready. Get set, go. Count them. Count them. Count them. Yeah, you can go one to the other. Don't count the one that falls. 32. Don't count the one that falls. I should make a thing where you get more credit if you throw it high. Keep throwing, keep throwing, keep throwing. What's my number? Where's your highest number? Keep throwing, keep throwing, keep throwing, keep throwing, keep throwing. Keep throwing. Keep throwing. Move around. Yes, yes. Pick it up if you drop it. Pick it up. What's my highest number right now? 30. Oh, 30. 15 more seconds. 15 more seconds. Throw it up high. One hand to the other hand. One hand to the other hand. One hand to the other hand. Okay, what was my highest number? Okay, get ready. Go put yourself where you can throw it and hit. And go. Go. Here. It's got to actually touch it. Yes. Keep going. If it falls, you've got to pick it up. Don't pick anything else up. You've got to pick it up. Count. What's your points? 5. Always have students in my class that figure out a way to cheat it. And it's a green slug. Figure out how to cheat.
You didn't give any parameters.
No, it's fine. Just keep going. Keep going. What's my points? 18. Okay, stop. Stop. Okay, grab your band. Grab your band. Whoops. Okay, you just did 2 minutes of activity. Okay? And when you put any kind of a ball, even a cotton ball, as a challenge, it makes you want to move a little more. You're just like, I can hit that, I can hit that. It's just a challenge. So we're going to do 2 more minutes now, and we've got the band. We're going to do the first minute, just hanging on to it, just like this. See? Put your thumb in there. See that? Bring your band right out here. Now here's the deal. The first minute, all in the world that I want you to do is hit the band with a knee. It can be low. If you would like to get more work, you come up here. I will tell you that people who do a lot of this at this level, instead of this at this level, fare so much better on longevity tests and frailty tests and balance tests. So if you really want to get benefits, and you're going to do it anyway, but there are some of us that have trouble with our balance, and I understand it. So what I want you to do is back yourself up to a table, and you just do this. You see that? This is my balance helper. See? So if I turn and just do this, I'm still going to get great benefit, but I'm not going to fall. Okay? Because some of us having real balance problems, and this would be a challenge to you to do that for a minute, wouldn't it? So don't worry about it. Go here. Okay? Okay. Big breath. It's getting warm in here. Are you getting warm? Yeah. We need to open up the doors because it's very nice outside. Okay, are you ready? And why am I going through this? Because I want you to feel what it feels like to move steady in different ways for just 2 minutes. You just done one. Now we're going to do another. You get to pick your level. You get to pick your speed. This isn't fast. It's just you have to keep moving. You got it? So if you need balance help, you're at the wall or you're up against the table so that you don't fall, because I don't want any incidences here, okay? So you could even do this against a chair. So if you know that you have balance problems, kind of watch and help people if they're having balance problems. See how I'm touching it with my butt here? This is perfectly fine, okay? Okay, are you ready? Here we go. The second minute, we're going to start adding the hands. So the first minute, only the legs. Go. Right here. You don't have to go fast. You just have to go continuous. See, this isn't about how many you can do. This is about you keeping going. And you go as high as you feel you want to. See how I have my hands here and I'm not going up or down with them? Take a big deep breath through your nose. Through your nose. Yes. Big deep breath through your nose. Thank you. Thank you. Just like this. See how my hands are? Look at my elbow. 90 degrees. 90 degrees. Right? Tight tummy. Breathe through your nose. How you doing? Everybody's feeling pretty good? Yes. Remember, you can go here. If it's a problem, you can go here. I didn't tell you you had to go up here. I invited you to go up here. Right? Right? Okay. Now we're going to add the hands. Right here, we're going to go pull. But it pulls here. The shoulders are down. Shoulders have to go down. Elbows have to go in. Okay? And I'm going to go out. And I'm going to touch every time. See that? See, my shoulders are down, and I'm going out. My elbows have to touch. Have to touch, yes. I'm trying to keep you from injuring. Okay? Just right here. Right here. Pull. 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 See how I'm pulling? You see the pull? Pull. 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 See, I'm not just holding it. I'm pulling it out. Yeah, keep pulling. Keep pulling. Keep pulling. Are you working harder the second minute?
Yes.
And stop.
Thank goodness.
Now walk like this. Just take a couple breaths. Okay? Now, anytime I introduce a equipment, you've got to be able to explain to people how to use it safely. Okay? Many of you, if I were with you personally, I would have stopped you and corrected a lot of stuff. Okay? Because you thought you were doing it the way I was doing it, but you weren't. So just remember, you've got to learn to use these so they don't hurt you. They help you. Keep walking just like this, just like this. Now, as I'm walking, I'm not really using this, right? I could, but I'm not. I'm just hanging on to it. Just pass it back and forth like this. And now I want you to just tap to the side and then come back. Tap to the side and come back. So keep your weight right on your center leg. Tap out, come back here, tap out. So you see I have to shift my weight to stay here. You see that this looks very different than this? You see that? So see, I want you to just stay here. This is solid. Bring it in. This is solid. Bring it in. So to learn this, all you have to do is tap, tap, tap. So you don't really put your weight down. And then you won't shift your weight. I want you to keep solid straight on my pillar. See that? See that? Tight tummy. Tight tummy. Yeah? Yeah, don't shift your weight. Just go tap, tap, tap. That will keep you from shifting because everybody wants to shift in here and they're going, I can't do that. It feels weird. So you just go like this. And you stay on your toes. Take a big breath. Just like that. And then go tap front. And then go tap back. And then go to the side. And tap front. And tap back. Tap to the side. Stay right here. See how my knee is bent? Some of you have locked your leg. Okay? Keep that bent. Tap, tap. If you tap, you won't shift your weight. Okay, now put it in this leg. So now I'm going to just tap out here, tap, tap, tap. So see, I have to keep my weight here. Then I have to come here. My knee is soft. Then I go back. Then I go here. Then I go front. So if you tap and you don't put your weight on there, you'll keep your weight here. Okay? Now I'll explain all this in just a second. So you can come back to home plate right here and go tap, tap, tap. Just don't put your weight in there. You're here. Open your toes. Some of you are scrunching your toes. Did I catch you? Yeah, you're scrunching your toes. Open your toes. Keep this knee soft. And I'm a tiny bit hip hinged. See that? But I stay with my weight here. I stay right here. Okay, now walk. Did you get tired? Yes. Yeah, because you were loading. And that's what I wanted you to do. And guess what else you were doing? When you tapped, you sensed that the floor was there, but in essence, I just had you do a complete balance improving exercise by having you stand on one leg without your knee locked. But if I took that and I went like this, now we have a whole different kind of an exercise, correct? So if I come up and I don't tap down, it's much harder. Now shift, and you bring the leg up. Don't go fast, just bring it up. Stay right here, tap, tight tummy, breath in through the nose. Then if you need to catch yourself because you're over or under balancing and you feel you're going to fall, just put that foot down. But this makes it much harder. Yeah. So I can tell you with a hip replaced and a knee replaced, this side on my hip, much more difficult for my balance than the knee replaced side. Interesting, right? My physical therapist could tell you exactly about that. How are we doing over there, Miss PT? Okay, now then, here we go. Again, we're talking about, what was the title of my session tonight? Anybody tell me? Just read it. Read it out. Okay. How long have we been standing? But we were engaged. We were engaged in active movement. Some higher movement, some lower movement. The cotton ball, you didn't even think you were doing much. And my little slug right here, she figured it out. She just took that cotton ball and she just went like this.
I wasn't there.
Anyway, I know these things. There's always one in my class that's figured it out. Anyway, the point is you got to move. She figured out how to do it without moving much, but that's okay. She did it. She did it. So now take this, step out, I don't care which leg, and then you're going to act like you're going to do a slingshot. Yeah, be careful. It can hurt. Zach and Ellie know exactly how to pop people with this thing. Okay, I want to make a correction. Because, see, you're going to take these home. It's my little gift to you. Okay? When I did this, you all thought that you were doing what I was doing. What was I doing? My rib cage was up. My shoulders were down. When I stepped out, my knees were soft. They weren't locked. And when I went into this, my tummy was very braced. And when I pulled, look at my elbows. You see my elbow? It's coming right, it's grazing my waist. Looky here. Pull with this arm. Pull. No. Keep one arm out. Pull. Back. There. You got it. I'm talking to Lucia. Pull. She's going like this. Okay. Put it out there. See? Now you're going to load back. Keep your shoulder down. Do not do this with the shoulder raised. Okay? My PT can tell you why. All right? Now I'm going to switch. I'm going to cast. Okay? Drop your shoulders. Cast. Don't pull. Just cast. Now drop your shoulders. Tighten your tummy. You should be feeling a stretch in the back. You should have stepped back far enough to feel that stretch. Okay? Now pull this arm back. Yeah, bring that elbow back here. Look. See that elbow? That's what I want. If you did 2 or 3 sets of this little shoot your arrow, little move. See, you're doing this, Lucia. Come here, Lucia. Because you're doing something that so many people do. Don't worry about it. See, she thinks she's doing what I'm doing. But what she's doing is she's doing this. See? Go ahead. Okay. Hold on. Grip it. Not like that. Yeah. Not like a girl. Oh, like this. Like this. Really, like you're going to pound somebody. Okay? See this? See this? Okay, you're doing it this way. Okay, wait. Bring it back. Right here. Okay, step. There you go. Step. I don't care which. Now, throw. No. Pull this back. Do you see? See the difference? Do you see the difference? There! She's got it! Boom! So do it with both legs
And I have
working.
the green one, not the yellow like you.
There you go. Maybe you should do the yellow like me. Here, let go. Do the yellow. Okay. Cast, and then pull. Come back out, pull. Then switch your legs. Pull. With your shoulders down. Yes. Keep this out. And keep this out. Pull. Okay? So I just gave you a strength work. I gave you some ideas for 2 minutes.
Like this one. Not this
And
one.
you can make it very simple. You can make it very, very simple. Take them both. You can make it very, very, very simple. Here's my point. Yeah.
How much is a set for you? It's like 10?
Each one of them, they run for you. They're anywhere from $8 to $10. If you are going to want to do anything, I don't need the payment. If this is my gift to you, but just support they have expenses putting this thing on. Make it to this whole thing if you feel you have to. You do not have to. I want everybody to take one. And I want you to promise me that you're going to do it, and you're not going to do it more than 2 minutes. Okay? Anything that we did tonight, you do 2 minutes. Why? Because if you will do 2 minutes every 30 minutes through your day, and it doesn't even have to be, it can be very simple. Just get up and move. And do just little tiny things for 2 minutes. That right there, at the end of the day, how many 2-minute segments of movement would you have done? Very simple movements. Can you add it up? Okay? You've just changed your metabolic profile because you didn't just sit for hours and hours and hours without moving. That's the point. Okay? Anybody can do this. Anybody. And I've given you some ideas of high level or low level. And Lucia's learned how to pull it. She can do it with the light one or the hard one, right, Lucia? Right. And it will help your upper body, but it will help you move so that you have changed your metabolic profile.
That was awesome. Thank you, Jeannie. Are you ready for the last part? The last part is titled Optimize Your Brain. It's a health teaser, which means it doesn't give you all the information, just gives you a little taste and wants to give you some appetite for something to do or to change. So many times we come to appreciate our brain only if we struggle with it. When we see our kids suffer from learning challenges, when we cannot remember everything as good as when we were 20, when we see the cognitive abilities of our loved ones decline. Alzheimer's and dementia are real, but everyone can do something about it. Improving our brains could benefit all of us. I just recently did a class called Optimize Your Brain. It's a program from Dr. Neil Nedley from Weimar University, who helped thousands of people improving their brains, but also overcoming depression and anxiety. I got very excited about this program. It helped me to realize that our brains are able to change. You might have heard about the term neuroplasticity, which describes exactly that. Brain functions can be improved, and cognitive decline does not have to be our destiny. I learned in this class how to enhance my intelligence, which neurotransmitters are essential for a good brain function, and how I can get them through food and other things. I learned what hinders my brain from functioning optimally. I learned how I can improve my emotional intelligence. I learned about distortions that I have in my thinking. And I learned how cognitive behavioral therapy can help with all of that. So this class is online and it's available for everybody. You can do it if you want. And I made a screenshot of the website, which you can find on the last page of your handout. So if you go there, you will find this class, and I did the cheapest version, which is the starter version. It was just $79. The course is very engaging with short lectures from Dr. Neil Nedley, wonderful worksheets, and it makes it easy and possible to implement improvements in my life. So right now I'm doing a certification to be able to teach that class by myself, and this certification will take about 2 weeks. And then I would like to do a program like this for our community here, to have group sessions for people who don't want to do it online by themselves, if they are still interested to it. If you in a group session, please let me know, and I can give you the information when we will do that as soon as I know it. However you would do it, online or by yourself or in a group setting this summer, I honestly can recommend it to everyone. And I hope you take advantage of the wonderful opportunity to change your brain for the better. So, this concludes our Health Digest, and now we will have a drawing. So, I will get our little bag.
Everybody has their cotton balls, right?
Is there anybody in the room who has not signed up for the drawing yet? I think you have. I signed you up. Yeah. Ellie, you want to sign up for the drawing? Oh, you want to help with the drawing? Okay, then we will start. Will all the children come up and help me? Okay. Okay, Ian.
Jim Beardley.
Jim Beardsley. You know what this is?
Oh, yes. Thank you.
One of the self-made deodorants. Ayla? Zach Mitchell. He gets a second one. And now we will choose who takes home these pineapple plants that are on the tables. So we will have 8 more. No, you can take them home. The first one, Jeannie Park, can take home. You just grab the one on your table. Okay, Ian. Take the flowers and everything. Who is it?
It's me.
I love one, a pineapple. So you can take the one on your parents' desk. Okay. Becky Beardsley. That's number 3. Roger Tompkins. Can you bring this one to him? Ellie, can you bring this one to him? Amy. Amy. Can you? Anne Heilman. I'm allergic. Give it to someone else. Thank you. Okay, let's take another one. Which number is that? Colette. We have one more. So the McGrath family will take 2 home because Ian just won another one. Okay. I hope you all really learned something today. You liked it, and I would like the pastor come up and pray for us again, please.
Coming. Hope you have a good night, and we wish you all God's blessing. Let's pray together. Father in heaven, thank you for the way that we have been able to interact tonight and to learn and to grow. We pray for healthier lives that will glorify you. And as we leave, we pray for your blessing. Keep us safe as we go. In Jesus' name, amen.
So next time will be end of September, last Thursday of September. And in between, we probably will do a Optimize Your Brain session, which takes 6 weeks. We will try to send out flyers when we have the information ready. And I hope you all would come or consider coming. Thank you.